I remember when we were strong. Back in the days before King Tenebrae and his royal guard, and the people of Amosran took up their own arms for fun and profit. Before all that, there was just us, the Viridian Outriders. We kept the roads and trails safe and secure, with homes and forts scattered about and locales civilized and not. Time passed, and we have been replaced. And yet, I hear the rumblings and murmurs of the roads being less safe than they had been. Monsters sniffing around in smaller towns and magic acting oddly. Who knows? Maybe we'll be needed again. Hello, and welcome back to Another Path. My name is Chase, and I remain your GM. Today, we rejoin our heroes sometime after the events of the 69th Annual Harvest Festival and Fish Chili Cook-Off to see how life has changed. Thank you to our backers, Carl, Keith, and Katie, for their support. If you like what you hear, consider donating to us at patreon.com/ghostlightmedia, and maybe try checking out some of the other shows on the network. And with that, sit back, relax, and enjoy your trip down another path.
But you know what I would like to drink, what I really should be drinking in this moment?
Hot toddy?
Well, I am drinking a hot toddy. I should be drinking tea beer.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Gang, I gots to get me some of the TV.
Yeah, hey, Griffo, you got to get up here. Justin,
Gotta.
I don't know what the
Gotta.
reality. You got to send your dad out to come get some tea beer.
My parents are further away than I am.
How is they live in Bowling Green, don't they?
No, they live in Florida now.
What?
What?
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that happened.
I didn't know your dad was a Florida man.
Yeah. They live there technically 6 months and 1 day out of the year.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay. There you go. There you go.
Sorry, I was attending to my billions of chickens.
You still playing?
Oh.
Hey, you still playing Egg Game?
Yeah, brother.
Hell yeah, brother.
There's a game where you have millions of chickens?
Yeah,
This
dude,
is-
check this out. They have hats now, too.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Okay, now that's a bit. What is that game? I need it.
It's called Egg, I think.
Egg Inc.
Egg Inc., that's it.
Egg Inc.
Yeah.
Egg Inc.
I get addicted to these kinds of games.
I got my girlfriend addicted to this kind of game.
I was hooked on that game for a solid, 6 months. And then I realized how much it was draining my battery. And I was like, I need to remove this from my phone immediately. Because I was on vacation and my phone dropped so quickly. I was like, I cannot fathom this any longer.
Based on the fact that my phone had it as re-download instead of Git, makes me feel like I have been hooked on Egg Inc. before.
Mm-hmm.
You can't call it by its proper name, though. It's just Chicken Game.
That's true. Yeah.
It is chicken game.
Also notable Chicken Game player, friend of the show, Carlin. So, Carlin, if you happen to be listening to this episode, this is your sign to re-download Chicken Game.
That's the most accurate thing I've ever heard.
Also a game that's fun, Magikarp Splash.
Magikarp Splash is pretty good. I remember. I had a good rip of that one for a while. I was just going to say, if you live anywhere near Northwest Ohio, go get you a Toast Mortem, because we did not say the name of the beer. It is on tap at Iced here as of at least, mid-January, and it's probably going to be March by the time this episid. Well, no, it'll be mid-February by the time this one comes out.
Yeah, it'll be mid-February by the time this comes out. It'll probably still be on tap. He made a full batch. It is very, very good. It's an ESB.
Yeah, no, guys, this is legit the best one we've made. It's
And our past ones have been good. They haven't been stinkers.
Yeah, we are 5 for 5.
Hey, Big Minty Boy was on the edge.
That one was good.
It was good, but I could understand not liking it.
I loved Big Minty Boy because I love mint. I understand that I am in the minority.
I had forgotten that one's actual name was The Age of Sweet.
Yeah,
and
it's not.
one of the
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Jacob had to remind me that it was in fact not just called the Big Minty Boy.
Listen. Jacob is pretty good at his job. He's also wrong.
Now, I don't like tea and I don't like beer.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Will I hate this?
Probably.
Worth a sip, though. It is phenomenal how it emulates both.
We will send you a shot of tea beer.
In the mail.
We will vacuum seal a shot of tea beer and post it to you.
Yeah.
FedEx overnight.
It'd be like, here's a weird piece of just like historical trivia for you folks. There was once a, I believe it was Italian, like military ration, you know, like a, like an MRE kind of situation that included a shot of alcohol in it, like a shot of cordial, in like a little, what would look like a soy sauce packet from your local Chinese restaurant.
Now that's a spicy meatball.
I have two things to say. First is soy shot. The second is, Griffin, I really thought you were going to make a cinnamon hardtack joke.
No, sorry, dude. Just straight facts.
It has been 3 months since our last meeting with these characters. What have you been up to?
Specifically 3 months since the fish chili cook-off.
Since the 69th annual Bering Harvest Festival and Fish Chili Cook-Off.
That I won.
That Harper did in fact win.
And I got second in chart.
A small golden trophy glints in the corner of Harper's room. There is a medal, a Jart medal, silver for Arabin as well.
Listen, I'm just thankful I didn't have to kill anyone that day.
Arabin made the Jart medal himself. They didn't actually have prizes.
Correct. But Harper, I know you've been working on some stuff specifically.
Boy, I have so much. I think that's the main thing that I want to do that would be like a scene for this session.
Yeah.
Is something that I want to do with Bailey, actually.
Okay.
Because I have, and maybe even the other two as well, this might be a group effort, but I have a bunch of samples left over still from our time going below with Brother Lobazon, from like the approximations, and I want to do some science.
Okay, sure.
And I would love to have Bailey there, who has some like magical capabilities that I don't, and have the others there for like helping me just like generate ideas and whatnot. But in the meantime, I think there's a couple things that Harper's definitely worked on. She's worked on some smaller projects. I think I would have been able to forge 2 platinum rings.
Okay.
Because I bought those last time.
Absolutely,
for the,
that's done.
Warding Bond spell. I've been working on a bunch of other new projects. I've been tinkering with those rings as well. I've been tinkering with some like other things and like making this like little lattice work thing that can like go over. It's almost like an addition to like a stole, like an Outrider's stole.
Sure.
I'm, like working on some enchantments on. And the main thing that has like the most mechanical sort of bearing to it is something that I want to run by you, Chase. I have this idea. I think that in this time, especially before it got really snowy, that Harper has been training a bit more with Seeker Meredith, and especially in terms of mounted combat. And while she's fairly effective with her broad spear while riding on Ignis, you know, the broad spear isn't as long as like a mundane like lance or pike.
Okay.
But those things are also kind of too big for Harper to wield.
Sure.
So I'm trying to blueprint up this idea of adding kind of like a foldable attachment to the broad spear that I can then sort of snap out and elongate.
Okay.
To give myself like a reach weapon. But I need to be on Ignis in order to do it, since it's too big for me to like support on my own.
Right.
So sort of a collapsible spear pike situation.
Okay. Kind of like power poles out.
I'm thinking more of it like it's kind of like folds in half and like collapses like on a hinge and like folds in on
Okay,
itself.
so like a tent pole.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Cool. Yeah.
Is that something you want me to roll for, or just like I can just do that?
I mean, I will say I'm going to have you roll for it, but the roll is going to be fairly low. Are you just using like Smith's tools or something?
Yeah, either Smith's tools or Tinker tools.
Yeah, give me a Smith's tools. Because you're trying to like make a bunch of bespoke parts for it.
Yeah. Well, with my new feature from my level up, which we'll get into shortly, I'm sure. That is
What level up?
Huh? I rolled a 9, so that's a 19.
Yeah, done. Yeah. Shoot me the mechanics of that, and I'm sure. Yeah, sure.
I think it's essentially like, I don't think I'm changing the damage of the weapon, just the reach of it.
Sure.
If I'm on Iggy back.
Mm-hmm.
And I can kind of collapse it out and sort of like brace it against Ignis.
Sure.
So that I can have a bit of a reach weapon if I'm riding him and attacking.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. But yeah, I'll shoot you a message.
Yeah. That's probably fine. I'm down with that. Go ahead and actually, while you're getting that up for me, go ahead and give me an insight check as well.
Oh no, wisdom.
Yep. Everyone's favorite.
Ooh, 16.
So you're testing this thing out with Seeker Meredith. You can tell she is off her game. This has been probably about 3 weeks since the Harvest Festival. Winter is beginning to start to set in. That chill is in the air. It is a brisk with a capital K morning.
Why is the capital at the end of the word?
Because you can hear
brisk.
the K best, and that is how brisk it is.
All right.
You can tell that she's just not where her head is not in this.
Yeah, I think I do a pass and then loop back around, and Ignis kind of like Tokyo drifts in the little bit of snow that's on the ground.
Good.
I hop off, flip the spear so that the handle flips back into place, and then just kind of look up at her and like kind of looking for that like look of recognition or acknowledge
Yeah.
And just kind of look up and say, "Is everything all right, Meredith?"
Yeah, it's fine, Harper. Keep this under your hats. The High Captain has approached me about being Knight Captain.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah.
You knew then?
I mean, he asked my opinion about it. He didn't say he was going to do it, but...
He did it, all right.
He fully offered it to you?
Oh, yeah.
Shit.
More of a voluntold kind of a situation, if I'm being perfectly honest.
Oh.
It's fine.
Is it?
It's my time. It's the duty to the Outriders. The organization's been good to me for many, many years. Frankly, I probably should have taken it before him, but... it was offered to him, and I wasn't about to make a fuss for more responsibilities for not much more in reward. But... these are the hands we are dealt. Means I'll be out to field work a little bit more, which is unfortunate. I do actually enjoy it when it comes up, but...
Well, you're like 3 times as devil may care as Luca, so like, I'm sure you can get yourself out into the field whenever you damn well please.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see. I may make a play for that if it comes up. Just to see how far I can push it,
Yeah. And like, not trying to, like rock the boat or anything, but I mean, I like the Outriders. I really genuinely do, and I like the traditions. I like the ceremony that goes into it. But like, just because something's tradition doesn't mean it's the right thing to do all the time, My ma and pa, like, they cut away from a lot of old family traditions, apparently, because they weren't, like, they didn't suit our family. Like, I've got a sister, and, like, halflings typically have, like, really big families.
Sure.
There's a lot of little things, but my ma and pa talked about it, and they're like, that ain't for us. So, just because something's the way it is now doesn't mean that it's the way it's always going to be.
And you're not wrong, Harper, you're not, and this is the thing. When traditions do not serve people, absolutely cut them. But the thing is, me serving as Knight Captain serves the Outriders. I am here, and I am a better woman than I was yesterday, and the day before, and the day before that. Because I am an Outrider. And part of that is the traditions. And true, I could say no. I could have said no. If I did not want to, I could have stepped back and things could have continued apace. He would have found someone, certainly, but the fact is I would make better calls than whoever he would have found after me. I am the right person for the job. And I am begrudgingly happy to do it.
Well, I for one think that agree with the High Captain. I think it's a great fit.
Well,
and I knew you wouldn't be happy about it, but
well, at least you knew. Unfortunately, it means I'm gonna have less time for this, but
well, why do you think I'm cramming it in now? And it's not just because I haven't installed the treads on Ignis yet.
Oh, you should do that. The snow's gonna be bad this year. I can feel it in my knees.
I think I can get away with either treads or a plow before. I don't think I can do both right now before the snows hit, but like, I'm working on it. Depends on how much I can get in materials.
If honestly, at this point, I would go with the plow. The treads are gonna have a hard time on the stairs getting up.
It's true. God, fucking stairs. It's the one nut I can't crack.
Seeker Meredith squares up for you to make another pass. And you two continue to train. We'll cut back to your science later. Cecil.
Yes.
What you been doing? 3 months. Quarter of a year. Long time.
It's a long time. Cecil is giving more responsibility over the day-to-day operations of the Seething Scroll to Katie and the other children employees, orphans of Cecil School for Lost Souls. And a little bit out of necessity of knowing that they are in the middle of a couple of huge things and never know when they might be called away again. But also a little bit out of, giving these kids a chance to feel like they're part of society and doing something productive.
Cool.
And because Cecil has figured out that while they like having the scroll, they don't like talking to people every day and dealing with customers all the time. So Cecil's been doing a lot of reading and researching and diving back into old reports and is particularly hung up on anything with the Erskine device and the incident from decades ago, and is trying to put all those pieces together and make sure that we're in as good a spot as possible for whatever comes next. That's a little vague maybe, but that's kind of where we're at.
Okay.
Also, does try to take the remnants of the winning fish chili and turn it into tea.
No.
We use it as fertilizer.
Okay, that's less gross than what I was thinking.
Acceptable.
Okay.
Fishalizer.
Okay.
No.
Fertile fish?
No, fishalizer. No, I can't pun my way out of this one, Ryan. I'm sorry.
I've punned myself into a corner, I understand. Here I shall live forever. Nobody puns Cecil in a corner.
There it is.
Okay. I will say, as a part of this, you can focus more on either research or tea. Which are you focusing a little bit more on?
I will say research.
Okay.
There's an attempt at some tea rather than really trying to take care of the shop day to day, but
you get the chili in a planter box, and you get some mushroom spores going, just trying to get something going there, and it's it's happening. It is a work in progress, though.
Yeah, we might have to pivot to tiny green mushrooms. We'll see.
We'll see. For your research, what I will say is go ahead and give me probably a history check. I think makes the most sense.
Probably a history check. Yeah, that works.
Okay. So I have a
unless I can intimidate the books into giving me the answer.
Not traditionally, no.
Tell me what you know.
I'd pick up, yeah, you just shake the book real hard.
What's in the box?
What are your secrets?
What's in the Urk
What's
box?
in the box? What's in the box? All right, history it is.
Yep.
19.
Okay. With a 19, you are going through trying to find any evidence of something like the Erskine device existing. Something that gives individuals just incredible power at an incredible cost. And there are, with a 19, you find that throughout history there are whispers and litterings of many things that could do something like this. There are, of course, demonic pacts and devilish pacts that do something similar. There are also dealings with those a bit further outside of even heaven or hell. The unknown creatures that exist upon the edges of space and time that do tend to infiltrate the world as it is. And many of those warriors have indeed gained access to powers far beyond what people thought was their ken. It's hard to say, but what you can tell is that there is probably some outer world influence going on.
At one point, Cecil goes to Luca and petitions to get a trip back to the capital to go through the Royal Library with the knowledge that the Erskine device is back. Cecil's never really gotten to do that because after the event, everything was really put on hold and nothing was spoken of. So that never really happened, I don't think, afterwards. And given the set of circumstances we're in, that would be highly useful.
Cecil, you know I am loath to let you go, right? Like, you understand why I don't want to let you do this.
I don't really want to either.
I don't believe you. You're going to look at books, and that's your favorite thing.
It is my favorite thing, but one of my least favorite things is being outside when it's cold.
Which is why I was going to say, regardless, you're waiting till spring.
Yeah, yes.
Meredith's knees have been acting up. You know that means we're in for a real shitstorm of a winter.
Yes, I know. I was kind of hoping that maybe she was just trying to pull a fast one to, have a physical detriment that keeps her from being promoted. It's like, oh no, I can't get
Cecil,
drafted.
you better not be doubting Meredith's magic knee.
The trick knee always works, I understand, but it is also a trick knee.
Poppycock.
No, you see, here's the thing. Night Captain means she's doing desk work a lot more often, which you know she hates.
Yes, I know.
She is the opposite of you, friend.
Exactly.
She loves field work, and she hates desk work. I
know. I offered to do it.
Look, I did consider you for Night Captain for a moment. A moment. However, it would defy everything with the organization.
Cecil kind of sits for a second and just kind of reflects. And, Luca, I would have said yes if it's what was needed.
I know. But look.
Have I ever actually said no when it was actually needed?
No, you haven't. Because you deserve to be Spy Master when it comes up.
Well, there's that too, but...
That's the thing. If I pull you out of line, not only do I basically risk an inquiry coming down on my head, but I also pull you out of line for the job that you actually should have.
This is true. I don't know how long that would take to get, though.
Hey, here's the thing. Jasper's been doing a great job. He's kept us informed. We haven't been, surprised by anything by more than a day. But Jasper is not long for the job. He's going to retire at some point.
Sure, of course. It's not like I want it.
He gives you a, over-the-glasses knowing look. You kind of want it. A little bit, at least.
Well, I don't know. I'm quite liking being a teacher. a bit. Or a
Yeah,
supervisor, pseudo uncle,
I was going to say collector, but those are much nicer words.
collector. Collector might actually go more with spy master, actually, if I think about it.
Regardless, it would mean more time away from the scroll, more time reading over reports, and I know you love a report to read over, but it's the kind of report that we can't have leaving here.
I know. I'll do it, but we'll see whenever it comes up. I've only got so much longer anyway.
Well, longer than Jasper. You know that Jasper is well into his 70s, maybe even 80s at this point. He does not talk about his age. He refuses to tell people when his birthday is or how old he is. He's that kind of guy.
Yeah.
But you know everything that Luca says is true. Like, he's got his ways. He stays out of everybody else's way, which is the real big kind of cincher for him. You know that's what won him out over you. You're a little bit more of a busybody, and you're upfront about it. He is probably actually equally the busybody to you, but he's very slick.
We're talking about someone local or like the local spy master?
Local,
or like
yeah, no, the
in the seat.
The crypt spy master.
Okay.
Yeah, this is somebody who does not get involved with local politics, who...
On purpose.
Exactly. You do all of that stuff because you genuinely love it, or at least that's the impression that I've gotten as the DM to Cecil. Jasper prefers to stay in the shadows in all aspects.
Cecil definitely enjoys the paperwork of it all. And I also believe that Cecil has a wealth of red pens.
100%.
It's good. That's how he reads reports, with red pens. So I'm not going to the seat anytime soon. Okay, I will draft up a letter for Sterling to see if he can't get maybe some help or some resources. Oh, I can use our old code, so he'll know. So maybe we can find something. Has he said anything more?
I haven't heard anything, but I wouldn't be surprised. He's got his folks who've got their ways. I imagine when he wants to get a message to us, it'll come quick and with little warning.
That's what you get when your face is on the money.
That's right. But no, early spring, as soon as the thaws hit, you can, I'll give you leave to take a couple weeks off and head up north.
Sounds good to me. Thank you, Luca.
Of course.
Cecil kind of stands up and takes a step and stops and turns back around. Luca.
Yeah.
You're doing good.
Thanks. You too. Hey.
Yeah?
We've got this.
I don't know. This feels... I've done a lot of shit, Luca. And I've covered up even more of it, and this feels different, and it's not going away, but we're not getting closer. I don't know.
Yeah. But if it gets much worse, we'll be dead for it, and it won't be our problem anymore.
Sure we will. Cecil just kind of spaces out and walks away.
At ease, listener. Arabin, what have you been up to?
So after the festival, Arabin has been thinking a lot about the encounter he had with Ken and how weird that was. And as he's thinking about that, he starts thinking about the approximations, and he starts thinking about Callaghan's Cat's Corral, and he thinks about all of these times when we've been in battles that were tough. And Arabin has been thinking about how the only reason he's alive is because the entity is giving him power. And he's been thinking a lot about that, and he thinks back to something that the entity said to him, which is, trust the devil you know. And so Arabin has decided that it's time to trust the entity a little bit more.
Sure.
And he wants to understand the power that he's been given and he wants to embrace it a little more than he has in the past.
Sure.
I'm so happy.
I have a favor to ask you.
Of course. Ask away.
This power that you've been given me, this deal that we have,
Uh-huh.
I've been pushing it away and trying to ignore it, but I think if I want to stay alive and I want to keep doing what I'm doing, I need to understand it a little bit more. So I want to know. I want to know, what is this magic? I want to know what it is you're doing. How do I harvest it? How do I really dial in?
It is not a harvesting, Arabin. And this may be where you're actually running afoul? I'll go ahead and say afoul, for lack of a better word, but afoul of your own mindset. It's not that you are trying to take advantage of the deal. The deal is a mindset. The mindset is that you are trying to use your opponents against themselves. This is the thing of it all, is that it is all about leveraging who you are going up against themselves, their own power, their own life against itself. I serve the Penumbra. You understand this.
I understand that. It's just, when we're fighting, I feel you take over, and
What is a Penumbra?
I don't know.
A shadow. It is a darkness created by light. And that is what we become when we're working together. Darkness by light. Even the smallest candle casts a long shadow. And that is where we thrive. We take advantage of the smallest, most insignificant weakness and make it our strength. We are what exists when light is cast. It cannot exist without us, and frankly, we cannot exist without...
You feel it seize for a moment. But you know how that sentence was supposed to end.
We are the darkness created by light. And we work in that space. And that is how we will move forward. If you are committing to this, this is how we will create wonder. This is how we serve the Penumbra.
You lead the way, and I'll follow.
You'll be leading soon enough, Arabin Cronin.
So Arabin, for the few months in between, Arabin is going to be training by day and keeping up appearances to everybody, but by night, I want him to be in the library looking up different things about magic and arcana and anything that the entity is wanting to lead him to.
Good.
You fucker.
Give me...
I put so much work into our friendship, and this is how you treat me.
No, but here's the thing. Because Justin sent me a long message earlier. Justin, what you told me earlier from an outside perspective, Arabin is more committed than ever, not only to the Outriders, but to all of you as well.
Yeah,
Arabin's going all in on this situation. And not only have you noticed a marked improvement in your friendship, but also his mood in general.
Yeah, he is wanting to become strong. He wants to become stronger for everything that he's gained
Ah, Jesus.
And he sees this as the way to do that.
He's doing it for the Outriders.
Yeah, whatever.
So it's a really good poison cookie.
So give me honestly, with this, give me a spell attack. I'm going to say this is how you are going to, how we're going to see what you find during your nightly searches.
Okay. Ooh, that's good. That is a 22.
Whoo, buddy. What did you roll on the die out of curiosity?
It was a 15, and if it's a spell attack, it's +7.
Yeah, cool. So, because you're not alone in the library, of course. Lenny is in there with you. As Lenny is always in the library.
Lenny, my dude.
Looking for anything specific, Arabin?
Yeah, I'm just learning to, I'm looking to get more into spells and magic and just trying to learn a little bit about that. No big deal. I think I know what I'm looking for.
Excellent, excellent. Well, you know where the magic section is, of course. The beginner grade spell books are, right over yonder there. But if you need anything a bit more spicy, do let me know.
Of course, Lenny. Of course.
Good, good. And, be careful if you start researching that kind of stuff. You never know what may approach you.
Oh, yeah. I know.
Do you know what has come your way?
It's just learning about this stuff. Being around Cecil, of course. I've seen some things that I've never seen before.
Deception check.
Well, that's probably
Know
true.
where the spicy books are.
Ooh, that's a 26.
Oh,
Boy, there
well,
we
that beats
go.
Lenny's 17, which I thought was pretty good.
Against a mortal man, it would be.
Very well, then. I tell you the things I've seen and met in my day. But have at you, then. Don't let me get in your way.
Of course. Take care, Lenny. And
Wait. Have you been keeping up on your calligraphy?
yes.
Deception at disadvantage because I know that's a fucking lie.
It's a 12.
Look up your stuff and then come over with me and we'll run a couple of quick drills.
All right.
Writing is as important as reading.
I
One
know.
must be understood in all forms.
I know.
God, I miss Lenny.
Arabin takes off, and whenever he's looking for something that's not quite on the base level of magic, if he's looking at anything darker, he is, of course, watching Lenny and skulking around in the shadows.
I'm not even going to make you roll for this. Lenny knows.
Okay.
Lenny knows. Lenny knows every inch of this library. Lenny knows how this library sounds, and he knows what it sounds like when people are in a specific place. If you would like to hide something from Lenny, actually, I will let you go ahead because you know this about him. Roll a stealth.
So, instead of rolling stealth, can I go around the corner and cast invisibility on myself?
Lenny is blind. So here's the thing. Yes, but still roll it.
Come on.
What is my stealth? Okay. Well, it's not too bad. It's a 16.
I have rolled a 12. Lenny gets a +5 to perception on listening base, so that is a 17.
Oof. He knows.
So Lenny knows at one point, but here's the thing, because it is just a 17, you know he knows. However, what you do find is that as you are really just kind of letting the entity take over and draw you to certain books, a single topic keeps coming up over and over again. And you know it even before you go to the page that it is interested in. It's the Infernal Core.
Yep.
over and over and over again. The penumbra wants this core.
I knew the infernal core was going to come out of your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
That's what she said.
Hey, yo?
Hey, old Buster Brown, oh yeah.
But you take a seat at the desk, and Lenny slides a couple of drills over to you, just some basic handwriting kind of stuff. And as you begin to work, he sits down across from you and kind of temples his fingers and leans forward. So, looking into some fiendish books, are you?
Yeah. It's just something I have sort of been working a theory with it.
What theory is that?
Well, with all the things going on, I just feel like there's something maybe demonic about the things that we've found in that underground city.
Demonic? Deception check.
I don't like lying to Lenny, but I kind of have to. Okay, that is a 19.
Beats his 11. Well, I'm not sure about that. I'd heard people talking about aberrational activity down there. Fiendish would be a bit of a left turn, but your judgment's usually pretty good by all accounts, Cronin.
It's just a theory, and it may be a dead end. I just want to cover all of my bases.
No, understood. It's good for you to do that. You never know where things are going to come from. But no matter. Do what must be done. If that is what you need to do in order to make sure that, we don't end up going down a certain path, then by all means, take your time looking those books, but don't lie to me about it. I'll happily help you search for whatever it is you need. My eyesight hasn't been good in many years, but I know these shelves better than anyone else here. That's why I'm still sitting where I am. I know there are those waiting for me to have my time, but until it happens, I shall serve as guide in these holes.
Yeah. And thank you for that, Lenny. I know that you are very knowledgeable, and I know that you worry, but I just want you to know that to an extent I do know what I'm doing, and I am keeping myself safe.
Please do. And know that I have served as confidant for many an outrider over the years. If you need a place to keep a secret, Arabin, I can do that.
Of course.
All right. Now you fucked up that P, so try it again.
What P?
That one right there. I heard the scratching and it was all wrong. Try it again. Better. Right there. It was almost perfect right there. I heard it. Just keep your elbow up higher. And the camera pulls away down the hall. And a few more weeks pass, and we find all three of you together with one Elijah Bailey, Steward Elijah Bailey at that even.
Stewart Elijah Bailey, first, middle, last.
Getting ready to do some science.
Yeah.
So Harper, where is science happening?
I think science happens in the last place we tested approximation stuff, which was
in
out
the cave.
A ways, I think.
Yeah, in the cave where the remains of the cart once stood. Cave no longer holds a certain cart. Cecil made that disappear after a certain Lillian Lewis showed up in town.
And Cecil made it disappear and then told no one about it. So you just show up and it's gone.
Oh, dang. That cart's gone. Ah, well. Anyway. Harper, unbothered. So here's what I would like to do, Chase. I have several experiments I would like to run. And honestly, the first one is gonna determine if any follow. My idea here is I have a couple things I want to do, and I guess I'll talk to everyone about this.
Please.
Bailey included. All right, so I have this big sample here, and I would love to see if, like, the remnants of this goo is still, like, alive in some way. I have some ideas, because, like, everything seems to, like, I get the feeling that everything kind of communicates. Like, the approximations communicate with each other in some way.
Like a hive
And,
mind
like,
kind of thing?
I don't know. I just know that we saw, like, more than just, like, the approximations of people down there. We saw the approximation of places, of things. And they had to get that knowledge from somewhere, and someone had to relay that knowledge to them. So here's what I'm thinking. I want to see... Bailey, are you savvy at all with, like, illusion stuff, even, like, in, like, a minor illusion sort of way?
Yeah.
I want to see if we can show it something and it will react to it. Like, it will try to turn itself into what it sees in a magical way.
Interesting thought.
Because I've left the thing out and just, like, wanted to see if it did anything before. I want to see if it responds to certain types of stimuli. Like, I want to see if it responds to heat. I want to see if it responds to cold. I want to see if it responds to... I want to like, try to split it into two places and see if it's empathetic. Like, if I expose one sample to heat, does the other sample react in any way, even if there's a distance separated between them? I'm doing science, goddammit.
Okay.
Do you want me to just run through my list here, Chase? And
So that's what you want to do with the sample of the approximation. What did you want to do
Yes.
with the building piece?
Similar stuff. I don't think that's... I might expose it to the same sort of stimuli and stuff. See if it responds to, like, visual stimulus, if it responds to heat, if it responds to acid, if it responds to other just, like, sort of exposures.
Okay.
Because I have in my notes here, I have one big sample of approximation goo and 3 samples of the tower with the, like, the fractal pattern on it.
Okay. So
And I have a rubbing of the pattern as well.
for the sake of simplicity, I'm going to say that everybody can essentially run an experiment. You can essentially choose some kind of experiment to run, and I will give you some piece of information regarding what is going on here.
I have a question. Have the approximations ever made any sound?
Outside of a squelching? No.
Okay.
Just a common squelch.
Yep.
Because I had some bullshit if they had some sort of spoken language.
Doesn't seem like it. But you can all essentially run a single experiment. Bailey is here to help facilitate and do what needs to be done in order to make that all work.
Do you guys have anything in particular you want to do, or are you cool if I, like, assign you stuff?
If you assign, that's fine. The only thing I really had was trying to figure out type, basically, aberration, kind of, but just trying to... It's player talk. It's a little weird because we're trying to figure out a GM homebrew thing with the D&D mechanics.
Yeah.
So it's, at some point it's like, what size class are they? Which plane or book? How do we figure out how to put this in a science experiment? So whatever you've got, Griff.
Okay. I think the main 3 things I want to do then, is it possible, Chase, that I can split this one sample into 2 smaller samples and them still be viable to use?
Sure.
Okay. Then I would like to first expose it to, like, a magical illusion.
Okay.
Like long term.
Okay.
And I want to see if it just reacts to that illusion at all, if it tries to like shift or take on that shape.
Mm-hmm.
I want to expose it to like in its vial, essentially like put it over a burner.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to see if it responds to heat
Mhm.
at all. And then depending on the heat reaction, I might do the thing where I kind of put 2 samples on the other side of the cave and expose one to heat and see if the other one reacts.
Okay. Cool.
I've had a long time to think about
Yeah,
this.
you have.
And if all of this comes up with Bumpkus, then it comes up with Bumpkus.
Go ahead and roll me a spell attack.
Cool. That is going to be a 14.
With a 14, you first run the image experiment. What image do you select?
I ask Bailey to conjure the image of a fish.
Oh,
Because we haven't seen any like water down there.
that's true. That's true.
So I'm trying to give it like something new to absorb.
He snaps his fingers and conjures an image of a fish, and then he grabs kind of like pieces of the light, almost like they're like strings of a balloon in midair, and fashions them onto a piece of copper from his pocket. And he just kind of sits it down on the ground. It's like, okay, that should hold for like, we'll call it like 24, maybe 36 hours if I did that really well. Hard to say. But we'll leave that sit and we'll see what happens.
Sounds great.
And so the two of you leave and you come back the next day, and it doesn't look like anything has changed. It's not like, it's still kind of fluctuating and running through a couple of different images and different forms. At one point, Bailey even actually like grabs the vial and essentially expands it out into the size of a bell jar. So it has like space to transform and whatnot. And
Nice.
at that point, Bailey is fairly well spent as far as the assistance he'd be able to provide. If you're probably out there for 12 hours, the image fully fades after 30-ish hours.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't seem to take on that fish shape, but it doesn't not, if that makes sense. It is
Sure.
clearly taking on a lot of incomplete forms as well.
Okay.
For the fire, Bailey, actually, no, I scratched that. Bailey does come back in and does one more thing, and he pulls the whole part thing in two, uses magic to essentially create, slice the bell jar in half, but keep everything in there in half as well. And
Damn, Bailey, you are useful.
yes, clearly. Like, I'm not a fucking slouch here, Talk. Like, come on. Like, I broke my leg. I'm sorry that I inconvenienced
Listen, Bailey, I'm
you.
sorry. I'm just fulfilling my contractually obligated dunking.
What contract?
Can we do the test now?
God.
Hopper, is Stuart working out, or do you need me?
Nah, things are good, Cecil. Thank you.
You know full
Great.
well Cecil has drafted a full dunking contract.
There was a memo.
Oh,
I mean, obviously.
the three of us are the only ones who have signed it,
Correct.
and Katie.
Especially Katie.
So yeah, I think I'm gonna do a I kind of want to ramp it up gradually and see how it responds to different levels of heat to the point of if it were exposed to direct flame, it would cause a burn.
Go ahead, roll me a straight intelligence check.
Ooh, that's very good. That's a 19 on the die. So a 23.
So, what you figure out is that initially there is a sympathetic response between the two. However, as time goes on, that connection fades, and these two become distinct entities unto themselves.
Okay. So initially it seems like I light a fire under one and the other one reacts as if they're one and the same, like they react the same way.
Correct.
But then over time, that bond sort of severs.
Correct.
Okay. Any notable reaction to the heat itself? Like, does it like in two ways? Does it like seem to have any sort of like instinctive response? Like, does it try to like shy away from the fire? Slash, is there any sort of consistency change? Like, am I affecting it on like a state of matter level?
You are getting that survival response. You are not getting a change of state response.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. Then, cool. I think that's my science.
Cool.
Which, if past science has any indication, I think I use up my samples.
Correct.
All right. I still have my tower samples, which I think I will save for later.
Cool.
Then. If anything, the only other thing I would do is some just like research in what materials are available to me about that fractal pattern and see if that repeats anywhere in what I see. I might even start some correspondence with Brother Lobazon, just to be like, do you have books? Like, like if he has any sort of like readings or materials on, he said many times he was a student of patterns. And if he has any sort of like literature on the subject, I'd love to read it. So I might start some correspondence with Brother Lobazon and like send some baked goods along the way with it too.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us here on Another Path. You can find our website and merch store at anotherpathpodcast.com, on Twitter at anotherpathpod, and our network at ghostlightmedia.net. You can support our efforts by donating at patreon.com/ghostlightmedia, or by giving us a rating and review over on Apple Podcasts or whatever podcatcher will let you. You can find me on Twitter at TQLoudly, Griffin at GriffCold, and Ryan at RyanRoll20. You can find Justin on TikTok at JustJustinMichael, and myself at TQLoudly. We'll be back in 2 weeks with a new episode, and until then, remember to wear the proper safety gear when you science. This has been a Ghostlight Media production.